Hello guys, today I'm going to show one trick or technique that is not obvious to use, but it's pretty much simple. We will be using mesh deformations and some animation in sequence to implement some flow over some surfaces in 3D space. Let me actually show what I'm talking about. Okay, now you see a project with waterfall in it. I'm going to talk about this flowing effect, this and this. They use exactly the same image sequence, and also this one uses the same technique, but it uses a different image sequence. But they all animated outside of spine. Just use, so you can see that I use bones to control these vertices, and I use mesh deformation to actually drive the flow, but the rest is exactly the same animation. Let me show you the animation. It's even playing in a totally skewed space. So let's make one on ourselves. Let's actually open the project. I prepared a crystal. We are going to make this kind of flow over this different surfaces, faces of this crystal. I have prepared this animation. Let me show. It's actually basic low. You will see in a moment. Let's grab the first frame, convert it to mesh, generate I think 3 vertices on each edge would be enough. Okay, we have one mesh. So far so good. We need to duplicate it and make actually the states, but before that I want to make sure you understand the difference of duplicating and linked mesh. Linked mesh is just a mesh that's actually referencing the original mesh. So when you make a duplicate, it exactly copies the same mesh, and after that copy, you are working with totally new, fresh version of this mesh. So if you deform, the second state would remain the same. So we don't want that. We want, when we deform, all states is deformed within that mesh. So we control only one state of this animation. For that, we will be using linked mesh. I'm using beta version. In here we have we don't have this button. Previously it was here, but for making linked mesh, we will need to go new and click linked mesh. After that, we will have a reference clone. I don't know how to call it, but it's basically it's linked mesh. It copies all, transform everything from the original mesh, and you may notice that the icons, let me do duplicate, icons are different. So this one is a duplicate, and this one is actually a linked mesh. It looks for original mesh and their settings are different. Check the difference here. Linked mesh has additional row where it requires a mesh to link the original source mesh, so from where it can copy its information, and the button which actually selects the original mesh. Okay. Oh no, it doesn't actually select. Let me see what it does. Oh, it just unlinks. Okay, sorry. It's good I noticed it. So when we hit, it just unlinks and makes it a copy. Okay. Let's continue duplicating, but now I'm not duplicating the original, but the linked mesh. This way it creates other version of linked mesh. I need to see the count exactly. We have state 23. Okay, let's continue up to 23. And the last thing, before making animation, we need to make sure they all read the correct path. So here we either can just change the path, or we just can remove it so it generates automatically from its name. Right now in my case the name actually represents the exact path, so I won't have any problem. But if your mesh has different name, make sure you just rename or give the exact path for each of them. I don't know a quicker way of doing this rather than just selecting every mesh, every state, and just deleting the path and hitting enter. Note that you have to hit enter to make the change, to like submit, apply the change. Otherwise, if I delete and select the other mesh, the previous mesh will remain unchanged. Let's continue deleting paths that came from original mesh. We don't need that. We need everyone to look for new image, and that image is actually located under the name of under their exact name, so the path is their name. Okay, let's actually make the animation. So this is flowing from up to down. Yes, to make it flow from down to up, as we need from our particular example, we will be keying backwards, starting from this. Okay, let's key it, and I'm using hotkeys R to go next frame, but to make it workable, we need to actually set up a timeline. So I will key random key here, and so it opens time space for us. Now we just go and hit R, and it goes to the next frame, and click click here to key this state. Hit R and key, hit R, key, and so on. And lastly, I will key also the same frame as I have in the first frame. Otherwise, it won't have one frame time to make transition. After first frame, it will jump to this frame, and we will lose this actually 21st frame. It won't have time to show. So we will need to put the last frame exactly the same as the first frame. Okay, we have our glow. It's rectangular, but we have it meshed and linked mesh. So let's actually deform it. I'm doing it on 70 frame. It doesn't have to be there. I will move that to the first frame. It just no reason for that. Okay, we have shining. Let me actually show it to you. Okay, here you have it, the vision. Let's now change the blending mode. It doesn't have to be changed, it's up to you, it depends on what art you are using. So okay, we have very nice glowing, and the funny part is that we can just take it and actually we should be deforming in setup mode. So for that I will select this mesh. This is another way to do, so it's kind of the other trick. So you select the mesh, copy all vertices. Note that I don't copy the key, but I copy the points, vertices. So I copy them and go here and select all vertices and pass them. They just do the exact, okay, not exact, but I think I messed up with some order. Oh no, okay, let's see. No, it's the same. Let's remove the key here and actually rely on this deformation here. Or maybe let's do it from scratch. I think I messed up with some vertices there. To to make the flow exactly how we want. Let me actually do it from scratch. Okay. Here is the shining. You can do a little bit polishing modification, but now we can just duplicate the slot and we have another face. Just modify the vertices, make it flow over the new face we want, and that's it. In the seconds we will have another face with glare. You can make some offset here or even more, so you can see, or you can even remove some frames. I don't know, whatever you want to do. The idea is that we have a slot that is actually very easy to manipulate. You can change, or if we had duplicate of this all, if we changed it, we would go and change all the meshes. So the good part is that it actually, let me grab this matrix here. It actually uses very little performance here because we are working with, you can see the 24 vertices, which is very little. 4 comes from this image, and I think 10 comes from each the others. 10 here, and 4 from this image. Yes, you can note that this is not a mesh, but all images are calculated as rectangular, so they have points. So you can see even when I select it, it selects that in general project has 24 vertices, and right now you are selected 4 of them. If we select this one, it says you selected 10 of them. That's it. I will cover this topic, I think, later on. Right now, when we have this working, let me actually do another case, another example. I'm going to keep this once in the animation and grab another animation. I don't want to make the video long, but I really want to see you guys another example, because this is a different use case. You can do it for any character you want, like leveling up animation with basic like flowing lines. Yeah. Okay, so once again, mesh, edit mesh, generate. Let's this time generate until we see the middle point, middle line of the vertices. Okay, let's duplicate it, but not the original one, but reference. For linked mesh, we need to first create the linked mesh from original one. Okay, we have created it. Both meshes change their icons, so they show that they are actually linked mesh. I think they are not the same, they are different, but I can't see exactly what is different. Okay, let's now duplicate the second linked mesh, not the original one. Let's see the maximum count of the frames, 24, right? Yes. Okay, I will speed up this part. Okay, we have a mesh with already animated states. You can see that we have 5 on this side, 5 on this side, and 5 in the center, and so we added 15 more. That would be actually 4 here and 15 here, 19. We have hidden the other meshes, so we don't actually render them, and it's not getting calculated here. But for now, again, I will cover this part for optimization matter later in a different video. So for now, let's assume we want some flowing level up lines, like particles. Let's deform it in the setup pose. Let's make some kind of flowing state. This is not going to be perfect. I don't know why I'm constantly saying that, just so you make sure that it's not the final result. You will need to polish it or do some other adjustments to make it perfect, but it's just for an idea. Okay, we scale it, we put it here, maybe we duplicate it to put exactly the same behind, but let's actually add keys so we can duplicate already keyed versions. Let's key those. I'm going to remove these keys. Okay, we have flowing animation. Let me show you in small screen. Here is it. Let's change to additive and maybe add some color to it. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. And now we can duplicate the slot, not the meshes but the slot. It offers me to duplicate also keys. We are happy with that. We just need to flip it and move a little bit back, and in draw order we need to put it fully back. Okay, let's move a bit here and maybe scale this up. That's it. We have flowing lines for character. You can duplicate it several times. As I said, it's not performance wise not very heavy, so we can do some duplications and actually modify them however we want. That's it, guys. I hope you liked it. Let me know in the comments if I missed something, or you have some more suggestions, something to make it faster, or I don't know. See you next time, guys. Bye.